Testament's defense modifier value was decreased, thus decreasing the damage they take. In the previous patch, the sequence did 106 damage. And now it does 100 damage, so a loss of 6 damage overall, very much similar to what other characters in the patch have received. Testament 6B sees 2 nerfs. They've increased the recovery on it, as well as slightly shrunk the lower hitbox, probably making it so that the opponent is going to be more likely to low profile this move with certain attacks of theirs in situations that they couldn't before. I won't be able to demonstrate the hitbox changes here and recommend you find some sort of hitbox viewer. For now, let's go ahead and compare the recoveries side by side. It's pretty noticeable to me how much slower the move is on recovery now, meaning that, again, most players should be able to find it easier to whiff punish this move. Testament 6 Heavy Slash had its damage increased. In the previous patch, this move of theirs did 45 damage. For the current patch, it now does 53 damage, so a fairly marginal increase for Testament. Testament's biggest change of the patch comes to a behavior of Stain State, which is now able to be triggered upon a throw. This means that Testament's strike and throw pressure is far more threatening once they have Stain State applied to the opponent. While the damage itself won't be too high from combos due to scaling, Testament will still be able to perform combos that can break the wall, thus giving them access to positive bonus, and then the potential to snowball the rest of the game outwards. It's honestly a pretty nice change, and while it is certainly a small change, especially compared to the other changes that many characters in the patch have gotten, it's another one that Testament really appreciates, I think. One last thing the patch notes themselves mention is that Stain State can no longer end midway through the throw animation. This is to ensure that whenever Stain State is applied to the opponent, if Testament goes for a very late throw, they're not going to lose out on the opportunity to combo from Stain State because the timing didn't match up. So this should mean that it performs very consistently for Testament players to choose throw as an option with good reward, and I like that change. Testament's final change comes to their Charged Grave Reaper, which does increased damage on the strike part of the move. Previously, it did 39 damage from the slash version, as well as the heavy slash version. And now, these versions do 47 damage for the strike part of the hit. Pretty sizable buff for Testament to use these in some of their combo routing. There really isn't too much to say about Testament in this patch. They've gotten pretty much all the universal changes the rest of the cast has seen, with one new toy to play with, that being Throw triggering Stain State now. Feel like most of their buffs have come in the previous patch, where they were able to get various buffs that really helped them feel like a more well-rounded character with some better set play potential than they had before. The only risk I see for Testament in this patch is to potentially sort of be outscaled by various other characters who've received far more meaningful changes to their kit overall. We'll see how well Testament performs in this patch, but considering like how well off they were in the previous patch, I think they'll be just fine in this patch. It is a slight bummer for Testament players that they don't have really any new tools to play with, but I feel like their big moment came in the patch leading up to the Season 4 patch, and I don't think Arc System Works really had enough data or interest, potentially, in really addressing the character significantly at this time.